G'day. In this lesson, I'm going to show you a really important concept to help you with major bar chords and how they relate to each other. I think I showed you the rectangle of bass notes in the last lesson, where they're 2 frets apart and one string apart. So on the 6th string, 2 frets, and the 5th string, the same 2 frets. So when you start on, so if I started on the, let's say I'm gonna base myself around this 3rd fret, 3rd and 5th fret. That's where my rectangle is. If I'm starting on the 5th string, it's going to be an A shape or a lazy A chord. That's one corner of the rectangle. The other corner is still on the 5th string, will be a lazy A shape. And then if I'm on the 6th string, the bottom left, that will be E shapes, and the bottom right, E-shaped bar chords. So there's always that sort of same little pattern between the bass notes. If you ever have a basic song that's got 3 major chords, and you know there are thousands, you might hear them described as the 1, the 4, and the 5, and that's usually written in Roman numerals because it gets confusing hearing about all the numbers. Now, without going into too much theory detail, it's because in any major key, the 1st chord of the scale, the 4th chord and the 5th chord are all going to be the major chords, and then the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th are going to be minor chords. We're going to look at those later. And I go into all this in another video explaining the theory, which I'll put a link to. So we won't look at it now. But what it means is, say in the key of C, if that's the 1st chord, the 4th and the 5th will be the F and the G. We know this relationship pretty well. In the key of G, if that's the 1st chord, the other major chords will be the C and the D. A, it'll be the D and the E, and in F, if that's your 1st chord, then the 4th and the 5th will be the B flat and the C, etc, etc, etc. So I think you understand that. Now, how does this relate to this little rectangle box that I've been talking about? Well, okay, let's say that I want to play a Chuck Berry song, which I won't name for copyright reasons. I'll start by figuring out the bass note that I want to play with the song. I might be actually listening to the song on the recording, or I might just be picking a note that I find it comfortable for me to sing in. But either way, let's say that I figure out that my 1st note is going to be a G on the 6th string, 3rd fret. So that's the 1 chord. We're in the key of G. Bass note. If I imagine that that's the bottom left corner of my rectangle, then so my rectangle is then going to be these 4 positions. My 4 chord is going to be the top left corner. Back to the 1. And then my 5th chord is going to be the top right of that rectangle, top right corner. Back to 1. Basic shape of so many rock and roll and blues songs. And if we work it out, I've been playing a G note to start, and then a C note, and then on this corner it was a D note. G, C, and D are really common major chords in a 3-chord song. So if I've figured out those bass notes, I know where to play the chords. Because if the bass is on the 6th string, it's an E shape. If the bass is on the 5th string, it's going to be the A shape, a lazy A. So I've configured the chords out really easily because I was just able to figure that bass relationship. But here's the great trick, is that relationship is going to be the same anytime my chord is on the 6th string. It doesn't matter where it is. It'll be corners, it'll be the same 3 corners of the rectangle. So if I want to change key, let's say I pick a note on the 6th fret, I don't need to know what chords they are. I can work it out. It's the same bass notes, so the chords will follow. I don't need to know what chords I've just played. I can work it out. That's an A, so that was a B flat. That's a D, that was an E flat. And E, that must be an F. I've been playing B flat, E flat, and F, but I didn't need to know because it was simply knowing where to start. The chords just fall into place the same way they do everywhere. If I start on the 4th fret, same relationship. You can play any song you like, knowing that that's the 1st chord, the 4th chord, and the 5th chord. And what I was just playing there was G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp, or E flat. Again, chords that you would never be able to really find as an open chords. They're just dead easy, knowing that it's the same relationship everywhere. I only need to know 2 positions, and I need to understand the relationship in this little rectangle, how they are just 2 frets apart, either on the upper string or the lower string. But there's more. What if my first note is on the 5th string? So let's say I want to start here. That's a 5th fret on the 5th string. It's a D note. My 4 chord is then going to be on the bottom right. My rectangle is actually going to start, it's actually going to be in the same place. But I'm starting on the D this time. So my 4 chord, that's the 1. I'm singing the melody wrong. My 4 chord is going to be down on the 6th string, on the bottom corner. Which makes my 5th chord is now going to be on the 6th string, 2 frets up. And then I can play the song now in yet another key, starting with an A shape, lazy A. My next chord will be jumping down 2 frets and changing to an E. Back to the 1st. And then the 5th will be here. It'll be an E shape this time. There's my 5th and 4 chords. And then the 1 is back here. So in this case it was D, G, and A were the chords. And we know D, G, and A are again really common major chords to write a 3-chord song about. So the 2 basic relationships, you look at your bass notes, it's going to be, the 1 is going to be if it's on the 6th string, then your 4 is going to be above it on the 5th string, and the 5 is going to be 2 frets up. Or if you start anywhere you like, doesn't matter, start on the 5th string, that's going to be the top right corner of a rectangle. Your 4 will be down on the 6th string, and then your 5th will be on the 6th string. As I'm describing this, I'm just picturing it in my head, but I'm going to draw a little diagram, so hopefully you're seeing it there and it's much clearer than I'm explaining it. But yeah, let's say, I'll pick a different song, say a Buddy Holly song, again, which I won't name. I can start there on on the sixth string. I can start here on the sixth string. I can start here on the start on the fifth string note. Doesn't matter where I start. Jumping around all over the place there, but it's so easy is the name of the song, and it is pretty easy. It's I don't even know what chords I'm playing. I just know exactly where the next position has to be because you know the relationship between the bass notes. It's so much easier playing up the neck than it would be trying to memorize the relationships between open chords. So that's the task. I'll put some diagrams to this video, which will hopefully make it a lot easier. But practice that. Practice finding your bass notes first. In a 3-chord song, they're either going to be that relationship, or they'll be this relationship. And you know now that the 6th string relationship is an E shape. And the 5th string relationship is an A shape. And you can find all your major chords. Good-o. See you soon.